Tampa Bay Damage struggled in the prelims at the first event, losing 3 games and looking a bit lackluster. Damage ended up having to play an intense relegation match against Houston Heat. They won that game, thanks in part to a great performance by Jason Edwards. But Damage has been one of the favorites at every PSP event in recent memory for a reason. They field one of the most potent lineups in the game. Considering the team is mostly unchanged since they won the 4th event last year, they will still be a favorite here at the Mid-Atlantic Open. They boast strength and versatility in every position. They have a strong snake-side push with Brian Smith, Keith Brown, and Timmy Probst. A top-level attack on the D-side with Jacob Edwards and Chad Boucher, and new pickup Dalton Vanderbilt. And they have one of the best back players in the past 10 years, Jason Edwards. Core members Dan Holiday and Rumsey Al-Yusuf should be back in the lineup after missing the first event. For opposing teams, it's tough to scout Damage because they adjust their playing style to suit their opposition and throw different looks with their deep roster of attackers on either side. But Damage should be out for blood after their 7th place finish in Dallas. So look for them to excel here at the Mid-Atlantic Open on this gunfight-heavy layout. Edmonton Impact came very close to winning the PSP World title last year, taking 2nd at the World Cup. They then lost 3 of their top players to Houston Heat, and the future was uncertain for Canada's best team. But they went out and picked up veteran Rainey Stanzik from Damage, Snake specialist Danny Park from the Ironman, the versatile Ryan Martin from Top Gun, and Nick Laval, the best player from Upton 187, to help rebuild around their solid core. Impact still fields a few of the best attackers in paintball. Justin Rabakoff and Justin Cornell are 2 of the best front players in the league, and they can play anywhere up front and have found success in the past against the top players in the world. Dave Baines is arguably the best back player ever to pick up a gun, and the Yakmek brothers, Zane and Zach, have emerged in the past few seasons as top flight gunfighters. It may take a few events for Impact to gel and find the game that they need to get back to the top.
Welcome back. Last 2 games of the afternoon's competition here in the Champions Division at the 2014 PSP Mid-Atlantic Open. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Nikki Cuba and Steve Rabakoff. We are about to watch Impact taking on Damage, and then also Vicious will be playing X Factor after this game. Damage will be on the left-hand side of your screen and Impact on the right-hand side of your screen. So, Nikki, what are you thinking about this matchup?
I've been waiting to see this one since, yesterday I seen it on the list, and just gonna be, 2 heavy hitters, 2, great shooting teams on the break, and 2 great offensive teams. It's gonna be, a very interesting game to watch. Are they gonna just be a 1-0 win? Is it gonna be 12-minute points, or is it gonna be, in your face, fast pace?
Well, Impact is now 2-1 as they took that loss to X Factor, which X Factor desperately needed that win. That was a 4-2 game. So X Factor is 1-2. Impact is 2-1. Damage is 2-0-1. 2 wins, no losses, and a tie. So it's getting a little interesting here. It's looking like.
And then, like you said, you have Vicious, who's 1-2.
Well, it's looking like
1-1.
Well, it's looking like Crew is going to be playing in a relegation game. So we'll start to figure this out here. But let's get into this matchup.
Right now,
Tampa Bay Damage on your screen.
Zach Yakmak gets shot out for Impact on the break. I believe that was from Timmy Probst. Cross-field shot that's there all day. And I believe that's, just because it's so hard to get out on that swamp side. And you're looking at, Damage over here, who has 5 guns up. They got the real estate, they got D1, and they got the Snake Aztec, and they got, all their guns rolling.
And standing up, wheeling and dealing, gun out in the open, just doing, I'm living by my gun. And like you said, they've got position right now, Damage, man.
We're talking about living by your gun.
Oh, and being
and
lazy.
He got a little lazy there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking over at Dave Baines, and Dave Baines with all those pods, he has not put his gun down for 1 millisecond yet. Both of the players for Tampa Bay Damage as the camera backs out. Look at this. Dave Baines has literally loaded 4 pods so far doing just this. He slow loads the pod, keeps his gun rolling. He hasn't dropped the lane yet. He puts his hand back, grabs another pod slowly, loads another pod, and just keeps up that pressure.
2 bodies dropping for Damage. Dalton Vanderbilt coming out of Dorito 1. Justin Cornell also getting shot for Impact. But Justin got that sneak shot on Al-Yusuf, who is playing back up off of that bunker, not playing in his bunker. And I don't know if his team told him that they had made Dorito 1. But Rainey Stanzik now filling out and filling where Justin Cornell just got shot out of.
This is the first time I've been watching Dave. This is the first time he's put 2 hands on his gun the entire point. He's literally just been with 1 hand, just rolling his gun one-handed. Hasn't put 2 hands on the gun until right now to actually get a ring.
Yeah, when you said there was 4 pods loaded already, I looked at the clock, and we were only at a minute.
But a major penalty takes both Dave Baines and Rainey Stanzik out. So yeah, Rainey Stanzik getting that penalty there, which pulls Dave Baines' gun off that lane. That's gonna open things up over here for Damage. That's what Damage needed, because Damage had already lost a couple bodies in Yusuf and Vanderbilt, so, but now they have 3, only looking at Justin Rabakoff, and that bunk's gonna get way too small for Justin. Nice job by Brian Smith, but the story of that point right there is Rainey Stanzik getting a major penalty, which really just sent a bomb off into the line of Edmonton Impact. That's gonna give Tampa Bay Damage the first point.
And just coming off of that loss, you know, to X Factor. So right now they're gonna have to go in, they're gonna have to come out now, play a 5-on-4 match, and hopefully shoot a guy on the break. But now they lost their heavy gunner, Dave Baines. He's gonna be in the box serving that penalty.
Yep, that's, I mean, Dave was like, before that happened, if you, I mean, Dave was literally just putting a clinic on how you control a lane. He literally, he was out there left-handed, so on his offhand, he didn't even touch the gun with his right hand, his second hand, to steady his shot. He just kept shooting with that one hand, loading pot after pot after pot, a slow, steady stream of pressure heading towards Tampa Bay Damage. But then Rainey got that major, took Dave out of there, and man, let's check out this replay here. So you're looking at Tampa Bay Damage, that's Rumzi El Yusuf right there, and bam, Rumzi El Yusuf is trying to control that lane. He's doing the same thing that Dave was doing, just on the flip side of the field. And then he tries to come out there, and bam, he's too far off that bunker.
And you see where he gets shot. He gets ripped up from the Dorito side, and that was Justin Cornell doing that inside shot from Dorito 1, because Al Yusuf is just, he was 10 feet off his bunker. You know, at the start of the game, you can't be doing that. And that's a lazy ball, like you said, Steve.
You just gotta get, you sitting there doing it, time to get in the bunker.
You're playing against, you know, some of the best guys in the world.
And Dave Baines has got enough paint there for 3 people.
I'm sure when this layout came out, Dave was probably like, yes.
Oh, I was
finally.
Like, I was the same way. I was like, the ones are, you know, not going to be having the stats. It's going to be the 2s and 3s.
Yeah, 2s and 3s are going to wheel and deal here.
Yeah. So right now, this game brought to you by Empire Paintball, Key Action Sports. You know, one of the major companies helping to push this sport forward and support these teams, this webcast, and also this league.
Looks like Impact just going one snake side and spreading the field. Oh, they're calling him out. He might get another penalty. Nope, he gets out, Josh Omelette. So now just leaving 3 bodies for Impact against 5 Damage.
And there comes Damage right to the right side. Oh, and he gets clipped, takes going in.
Yeah, he got clipped from
Jason
Zane Yakimak.
So now
4-on-3.
Yeah, 4-on-3.
With a minute left on the penalty, and you're going to get your heavy gunner possibly to come out of there.
Yeah, that's what Impact is, you know, got to be saying to their guys on the field. Hey, slow
make
it
room
down.
And make room for him if we can get him in here.
And let's run down this penalty, get him back, you know, so that we get, you know, an advantage. Then it'll be, you know, a 4-on-3 situation.
So pace slowed down a little bit here. Inner point. It's 3. Oh, but a body drops for Tampa Bay Damage. Keith Brown throwing his pod down in disgust and then jogging off the field slowly. So not a lot of bodies left here for Tampa Bay Damage.
Yeah, he's
to
been
preserve this lead.
At this layout.
Yeah, so it's Holiday and Timmy Probst left, and Tampa Bay Damage is going to concede that point. So right now, Edmonton Impact. Interesting that Damage conceded. Well, Dave got out. Dave got out alive, so that it was 4-on-2.
No,
he's got 15 seconds.
So that they can have the 4-on-5.
That's why they got
and take away Dave's gun off the break.
Yeah.
And see if they can get a body out.
Smart play. So
Kevin Brethauer, smart. You know, he's one of the smartest coaches in the game, one of the smartest players to ever play the game.
Yeah, exactly. So 16-21 to go. It's all tied up at 1 apiece here. And these two, you know, heavy hitter teams. Edmonton Impact took 2nd at the World Cup against, and it was come from behind victory for San Antonio X Factor and Tampa Bay Damage on the flip side. Now, there was a point about 2 years ago, they won 3 events in a row from the end of 2011 to the beginning of 2012. They won the West Coast Open last year. A few roster changes for Damage, and then also for Impact, big climactic shift for them. They had to pick up 4 new guys in the offseason, but they won in Europe. They won the last Millennium event. And, you know, it's looking pretty even right here. So we'll be right back here with more of this matchup. Stick around.
We all know what it's like. Trying to keep a complete set of Allen keys is near impossible in the paintball world. The Vanquish system makes it easy. You only need one. For everything. One key, one gun, one company. My name is Nicky Cuba. I play for Team Infamous. And the Vanquish brings my game to another level.
Jason Edwards talking to Ramsey Al-Youssef. There's Dan Hall, number 23, right by him. Tampa Bay Damage doesn't have Chad Boussiere at this event. Normally they're D-side rock. He hurt his back, so Tampa Bay Damage 4 guns up. They do send a body out here on the snake side. He makes it in clean. It's Ryan Smith.
What's very interesting to see,
he did it again. Damage did it, the exact same move again.
And they're losing 2 bodies. And what's interesting to see is now Dave Bain's coming out, and they did make room for him. I was going to say, how can you not leave that bunker open for Dave? But they did. They bounced out with Josh Omelette spreading the field, and Dorito won. And now it's a 5-on-3 situation. And now dropping another player with Brian Smith falling off for damage to bring it 5-on-2.
And there goes Impact to the left side of the A.
Yeah, Rainey Stanzak and Dave Baines following him up. Oh, yeah, Holiday gets shot out, leaving just Al-Youssef. And off to the races down Dorito side is Josh.
So Impact stoked on that point win right there to take the lead.
And to do that in the penalty.
Yeah, that's huge. You know, you
got 2 points while you were in the penalty box.
Exactly. I mean, that's huge. You know, you're able to fight out with 5-on-4.
Yeah, so good work by Edmonton Impact. Perfect point for them. They didn't even lose a body and had to, you know, again, with that penalty. So, but both teams will be back 5 strong here. 15-24 to go. Slight lead for Edmonton Impact. We'll be right back after this. Two to 1 is the score here at the second to last game of the afternoon's competition. There is one more matchup left, and it's going to be Vicious taking on X Factor. So who will advance in this bracket? The lead right now has definitely got to be Impact, as they're 2-1. But well, and then Damage as well too. So these two teams right now, as it's Damage doesn't have a loss yet. They're 2-0-1. Impact is 2-1. And it looks like there's been a timeout called here, so it gives us a couple minutes here to kind of break what's going down here.
I would think right now these two teams are playing for that first seed here, right?
Yes,
they absolutely are playing for this first seed, because X Factor, before they head into their next match, X Factor right now is 1-2, so they're definitely not the high seed. It's definitely Impact and Damage, so they're basically asserting dominance right now. Whoever wins this game will be the top seed and will be advancing on to Sunday. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly down the sidelines.
Hey, I'm down here with Rainey Stanzik. So this is a little bit of a rivalry. You were on Damage last season, J-Rad, Baines. There are quite a few of you who have been on Damage. So coming into prelims, were you expecting this to be the toughest match in the first 2 days?
I mean, usually going into your last match, it's going to be your toughest match. And there's been a lot of situations where Damage has played Impact the last match of the day. So yeah, we kind of looked at it as like, this could be our toughest match of the day.
All right, and so, you know, this is kind of a Damage field. They're going to sit, they're going to wait for you guys. How are you playing a counterpunch kind of strategy there?
Well, this is also an Impact field. Like, we're good at sitting. We have just as good as hiders as they do, if not better hiders. So we're ready for this type of field. This field is made for us.
All right, Rainey, thanks. We'll see who will win this one. Back to you guys.
So it's Best Hiders number 2 fighting Best Hiders number 1 for the hiding championship of the PSP. 15:24 to go left here.
Who's going to hide better?
Well, you know, hey, man, we don't knock them too much out there. You got to win. And when you look at the strategy for these two teams, you know, you got to go with what's working. And it's been working for these two teams. Damage doesn't have a loss yet, and Impact's only lost 1. So I don't know. And it's tough, and there's only 1 point separating these two teams. On the breakout from the swamp side.
There's one. Damage is walking off. It looks like Dalton Vanderbilt. He's been trying to get to that Dorito side, and they're just not letting that happen for him right now.
Yeah, I think they should utilize him in the middle. That's when he was doing damage, 4 damage. And right now, ref running in to check out Zane, Yakimak, and Dorito 1. 5 guns still up, 4 Impact, and Josh Omelet walking off. As I say that, makes it a 4-on-4 battle. You're looking at Justin Rabikoff talking with Dave Baines. You got Zach Yakimak cutting down Brian Smith from extended the field and spreading it so they can be, you know, more at like a 75% of this field and controlling. So right now, I give favor to Impact because they have that Dorito 1.
And now it's who's going to move out to the snake side first.
Well,
It's going to be Damage, or it's going to be Impact moving this way. Last couple of games, no one's really wanted to come to the snake side at all.
Yeah, we've seen, I don't know what it is, but the afternoon bracket is a lot slower than the morning bracket. And because as we saw in the afternoon bracket yesterday, X Factor played a 2-1 game against Damage, and then Impact and Vicious played a 2-1 game. So it's just kind of been going that way.
Yeah, Jacob Edwards spreading the field.
Oh, and he takes it right to the face.
From his mirror, Zane Yakimak. Now it's a 3-on-4 situation in favor of Impact, who has, you know, the real estate and, you know, the bodies. Justin Rabikoff coming around. He's trying to help out Zane over there. He's probably going to try and come right in the middle, controlling that Dorito side so Timmy can't fill out.
That's a good move there. Like you said, you keep those guys wedged into the middle of the field.
You know, and they have the lead right now. It's a 2-1. There's 13 minutes left. They don't have to go. They have to just control the lanes and let Damage come into their guns. You know, like Rainey was saying, you know, the best hiders and stuff like that, but who's the best seeker? Question.
Yeah, well, the 3-on-4, which will slow things down. Still 13:08 to go. 2-1 is the score. Tampa Bay Damage, 3 bodies left alive. It's Brian Smith, Ramziel Youssef.
Oh, it takes one ahead, trying to come out.
Dave Baines shooting that lane. You know, he had no support. He was just trying to make that move and spread the field.
And I'll give him the hey. He at least was trying to get out there. Like you said, he had no support, but getting there could have been a difference for them. But like you said, he had no support, Nikki.
Yeah, so now it's going to be interesting, you know, to see how long Kevin Breathauer is going to let this go on with, you know, 12 minutes and their down numbers. It's a 4-on-2 situation. Timmy has no paint left already. And Kevin Breathauer heard me, and he's listening to my coaching skills.
Yeah, so Tampa Bay Damage concedes the point. It was 4-on-2, which is a really low percentage play, particularly on this layout. So now 12 minutes and 34 seconds to go. Edmonton Impact is going to put another one on the board. So now 2 points separate these teams in a very difficult tactical battle between 2 high-ranked teams here in the PSP. Or not high-ranked teams, but teams that have been high-ranked before. Damage, it's kind of weird to say they're not high-ranked. They took 7th at the last event, had to play in a relegation game. And Impact, you know, reforming their squad after the losses and the hits they took in the offseason, losing 3 core guys. Here we go. Let's check out this replay. So there's Jacob Edwards on your screen on the D side of the field and Ramziel Youssef in the foreground. Bam! And you can see the frustration set in.
Yeah, that was just
Look at
overextending.
this. Gets Cyclops right here. Well, he just lost a gunfight. You know, I mean, this is a gunfight heavy field. So he comes back in, head checks out, bam, again with his gun, and then just takes one directly center punch right in his face. So he's just going to have to peel off out of there.
But like we say, you got to choose those gunfights wisely. You know, Zane already had established the wire. He had control of that gunfight, and Jacob Edwards was just forcing into it.
And this is a tough field to force anything. It's more of like I think finesse is the word to use. You got to have a lot of finesse out there. And that's why Dynasty's 4-0 right now.
Timing and luck.
Yeah. Yeah, you need that luck. Somewhere it's got to play in there somewhere.
Well, absolutely. You know, I mean, we've seen a lot of guys try to dive through lanes and make it. And timing, finesse, and luck absolutely are huge on this.
And we're looking at Impact running out there, and they're getting out there. We're coming up on 5 seconds.
They don't look really ready there, and they're on the swamp side.
Yep.
So
Damage going up the middle. Jason Edwards, 5 alive for both teams.
5 alive both sides, so.
And Rainey Stanzak running off the field, trying to go up the middle and match Jason Edwards, who now, you know, needs to utilize that A. That A is huge. And I'm surprised to see Dalton Vanderbilt not playing up the middle like he was in the previous games.
Well, Justin Rabikoff, who actually played with Tampa Bay Damage for a while, is the kill count leader against his former team. 5 confirmed kills for Justin Rabikoff. He's still alive out here in the center of the field, doubled up in that stand-up can. And Impact right now with their 4 players. Oh, but Dave Baines
They take out
off.
two damage guys going off the Dorito side.
Edwards brothers.
And Dave Baines walks off for Impact too. So it's going to be 3-on-3 with Dan Holiday, Keith Brown, and Timmy Props alive for Tampa Bay Damage.
You know, 11 minutes and 40 seconds left. You know, they have to win this point to get them back in this. You know, they can't give up. Oh, and as I say that, Keith Brown, once again,
he's just bitter at himself right now.
Keith Brown is one of the most emotional diers out there in the league. Yeah. Anytime Keith Brown dies, and it's a really close game, he's got like a throw pod.
Punch himself in the face.
Punch himself in the chest. Like, you know, appeal to the paintball gods by throwing his head back and crying out to the world.
And he's one of the most respected.
Dan Holiday.
He's just, I love walking up to him. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Keith Brown is like one of the nicest paintball players in the league.
Zane Yakimak getting a shot on Dan Holiday to close it out and making Kevin Breathauer, you know, throw the towel in so that he get his next 5 guys out there and conserve time.
So right now, 4-1 is the score. Tampa Bay Damage starting to struggle here against Edmonton Impact, who is looking pretty strong. This would be a huge win for Impact as they would go 3-1, and this would take Damage to 2-1-1. We're going to be right back after this. Taking a look into Tampa Bay Damage, getting ready for this next point. There's Ramziel Youssef, who has really emerged as one of the better players on that team, and really like the way he was finishing out the season for them last year and in mid-season as well too. And has played some really good points for them here at this event. There's Coach Kevin Breathauer, legendary San Diego Dynasty player for years during their early rise to fame.
I played against him on his early rise to fame. It was Avalanche against Dynasty at World Cup 2001 when he had that game. He shot six of us in that game. That's the game that him and John went one-on-one and boom, changed it.
He was a really amazing talk about clutch. He was a clutch player. Also, I hope you guys got your fantasy roster in, sponsored by Empire Paintball. A Vanquish is at stake. So hopefully you guys picked some solid studs out there who are doing work for you. My team's doing okay. I don't think I'm going to be in the running for the Vanquish.
Bad
like
start
anyway.
For Brian Smith, and I guess he makes it, and Dalton Vanderbilt gets that spin, gets up into the A. We're seeing a double stack of Impact 2 and 2 in the center bunkers, but spreading the field Dorito side.
And I think he gets taken out, so he does. I think he got a little too impatient there. He should just relax, let the game play out a little bit.
Yeah, you already did the hard work. You got there.
You got there.
You know, do your job, do your role. Don't try and do too much out there.
So now you're looking at the lineup, back lineup for Tampa Bay Damage. Ramziel Youssef is doing exactly what Dave Baines was doing the other point, just nothing but streaming paint through that lane over there on the snake side of the field. And Dalton Vanderbilt, like you guys said, he was the first to drop, shot by Justin Cornell. 4 bodies left alive for Damage. That's really going to stop their attack. Dalton Vanderbilt, one of the more aggressive players on Tampa Bay Damage, as we heard his interview with Lauren Kelly earlier. Jason Edwards, Brian Smith, Rumsey Al-Yusuf, and Holiday left for Damage.
Yeah, and Brian Smith taking control of Zach Yakimak over here. Justin Rabakoff's going to try and help him. And Brian Smith still has complete control of the snake side, except for Dave Baines is still cutting it down, so he can't make that move. Ref going in to check him. He's clean. Jason Edwards looking to make that move.
Yeah, so, you know, Damage, they still have some weapons on the field for them. Like I was saying before, Al-Yusuf has stepped up in the past season or two. And also Brian Smith, man. Brian Smith was one of the huge reasons that Tampa Bay Damage became a paintball powerhouse on this snake side particularly. And Jason Edwards is one of the best back players in the world. He's still alive. Holiday, one of the fastest guys in the league. He thinks he could take Carl Markowski or Alex Goldman. So would love to see that race one of these days. Impact, though, 5 guys alive, mostly in the pocket, rolling their guns, tons of paint on their backs, and they're just going to keep up that pressure and try to keep Tampa Bay Damage from getting back in this matchup. 4-1 is the score, 8 minutes, 50 seconds to go.
And we got a ref running in. Check out Dave Baines right now. Seeing if he got hit. He's clean. And they still got complete control of this field. They don't have to do anything. They got a 4-1 lead. And, you know, they're playing for that #1 spot, that #1 seed. So, Dave Baines, very angry at himself. Ball checked from Brian Smith. And
as soon as he got hit, he was like looking, he's like, boom.
Well, you notice he he came back in and then came right out into that ball. So that's why he was so frustrated there. Felt that he had dodged the stream, but then just came right out into one and then jumped up in the air in frustration. You know what, though, man? I love seeing that. You know, you could kind of knock him a little bit. We could sit up here and be like, oh, Keith Brown should be a little bit more reserved when he gets shot and be confident. Or Dave's a vet. He shouldn't do that.
But who wants to get shot?
You know what it shows me is how bad these guys want to win these games.
This is sports, man. It's an emotional thing.
You didn't come here to play for second.
No.
You came here to win, and you got to play that way every game, every point.
Yeah, and you're angry at yourself for, you know, making that mistake.
Well, and if, you know, an Impact, man, this is huge for them because with all the big pickups they did in the offseason, you know, Dave's a big pickup with the behind this, or a big asset for Impact behind the scenes. You know, everyone respects Dave, so, you know, when you're talking about picking up guys or talking to players, you know, that's a lot of that's Dave Baines, and he really believes in this Impact squad that he helped put together.
Big move, and Brian Smith gets shot.
And there's again the frustration too from Brian Smith. Pounds the ground with his fist and slow walk off, looking at that lane, being like, where the hell did I get shot from? And then Holiday's going to take the early walk too. So Tampa Bay Damage not looking good this point after that good kill they had on Dave Baines.
Oh, and Zach Yakimak might have just took
might want to check before you pull that trigger.
And that was from Jason Edwards sneaking a shot on him as he tried to back up and backfill into the snake side Aztec, leaving it a 3-on-2 situation, all on the Dorito side for both teams. What I'd like to see is Justin Rabakoff fill across when he has the opportunity by telling, you know, Zane to put in Dorito 2 and, you know, let's spread the field and play at, you know, at 75% or 100% of this field and widen it.
So time starting to tick down, 6:26 to go, and Impact is up by 3 here against Tampa Bay Damage. Just 2 players left for Damage, and now they're only looking at 3 bodies, which is why Kevin Brethauer hasn't. Now with Jason Edwards taking the walk, and now with Rumsey, I wouldn't be surprised if they blow the horn here pretty soon, because
serve the time.
Yeah, Rumsey, he's going to have to pull off some last-minute heroics here, and there's no way he gets tapped out and blown to bits there by Justin Rabakoff, who chose to finish finish this point off here. So, man, holy Edmonton Impact. They're looking really good right now.
After that tough game against X Factor, and coming to this, both teams are sitting there trying to get that #1 seed here, and the fact that X Factor won, if Impact lost and X Factor wins that next match, they're 2-2. They would have went in the head-to-head. So this was, you're either playing for the #1 seed or you're going to play down.
Wow. That is the nature.
That's this bracket. We've talked about it. 10,
well, and that's
10 solid teams here, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, that is the nature of the PSP. Look at Dave Baines. Oh, head checks out a ball. Thought he dodged it. Jumps up and down. So angry with himself. And just venting his frustration. because that's how bad. So that's the competitor that Big Dave Baines is, man. Dave Baines doesn't want to lose. Dave Baines didn't help put this team together. Dave Baines doesn't need to play paintball anymore. He has a successful business at home. He's got an awesome field. He's got a family, and that takes a ton of time. He's already, I mean, Dave Baines is an instant Hall of Famer. If you look at Dave Baines' career, Dave Baines is, you couldn't really find another player that's had a more successful career than Dave Baines has. He's won multiple world titles with different teams for the past over a decade now. And so he does not need to play this game anymore, but he still loves it. He still feels that competitive fire. We just saw Dave Baines' competitive fire right there in the frustration he was venting in his anger of getting shot out of that bunker.
Yeah, I mean,
so you too, you know, I mean, it's like you always had to ask yourself, it's like, why am I still doing this? Why am I still putting my body through this? Why am I taking all this time away from my family?
The love of the game.
The love of the game, man. The passion, because there's a certain kernel of the heart of a competitor that lives in some human beings that burns brighter.
When he first started playing, I played against Nicky, and now here he is, 14 years later, 15 years later. Now he's gonna start passing that torch here in about 10 years. I'm gonna give you 10.
Well, Nicky's got a boy on the way, so
I'm
maybe we got
10.
maybe we got another generation.
10's fair.
Yeah, it is. And
if his knees hold up.
Yeah, well,
a big move for Damage going into the snake. Justin Rabikoff walking off for impact, and we're looking at two guys, Josh Omlet as well. So it's 3-on-5 situation. And Damage losing a body. Dave Baines walking off again early. And right now, Damage has the opportunity. You're seeing Jason Edwards come through, trying to put some shots on the Yakimak brothers, which he does.
But though Tampa Bay Damage, Jacob Edwards getting past the 50-yard line, but gets his eye dotted there by Zach Yakimak. So right now it's just Zach Yakimak looking at 3 bodies, and that is going to do it.
They got to run it in, conserve the time.
That's jogging. Is that a slow jog or a jog?
No, it's, yeah, silent J. Jogging.
Yeah, it's like a new thing. I heard that like you just kind of, you like just go and run for an extended period of time. I don't know, it's like, it's this new cool thing all the kids are doing these days. I don't get it, but.
Jogging.
Jogging.
Yeah, that was a big point needed, and they did it.
Yeah, so here comes Tampa Bay Damage, though just under 5 minutes to go for them to score 3 points.
Hey, if they do it like they just did that point, they can do it real quick.
Yeah, I mean, they just showed us they can score quick points. This is a tough field to do that. They're going to have to mount a comeback here. Can they do it? We'll find out when we come back. Stick around.
Explosion of paintball videos, then stay tuned to paintballaccess.com because the CXBL is back for their 10th anniversary season. Catch all the best pro talent north of the border as teams battle it out in full X-Ball matches. Paintballaccess.com, on the field, in the pits, behind the scenes.
Welcome back here to OXCC Paintball Park here, Chesapeake City, Maryland. Rick Carver running an awesome ship out here. If you're on the East Coast, you got to get out to OXCC Paintball Park. We're looking at our stats crew. Oh, that is what is required to try to get paintball statistics as tight as possible. And you know, it's a huge thing for the sport of paintball, man. And those guys are over there putting in the long hours required.
Heavy breakout for Damage, making it to the snake with Brian Smith this time. Al Yusuf filling out to support. And Brian Smith just gets smoked down from Dave Baines. Impact losing a body. Josh Omlet filling out the Dorito side. Damage losing another guy off Dorito side. So we're looking at a 3-on-4 situation.
Yeah, 3-on-4 must-win situation right now for Tampa Bay Damage. Actually, 4-on, is it 3-on-4 or 4-on-4?
It is 4-on-3.
And then now it looks like Dalton Vanderbilt getting shot on that D side of the field, coming off early. Yep. So
from Josh Omelette. He didn't know that he slipped into Dorito 2, and he was going down to shoot Justin Rabakoff, and Josh saved him as he's filling out Al Yusuf. Josh Omelette is in there, Dorito 2, shooting out Al Yusuf, and now trying to put it on Timmy. But Timmy gets a shot on him. 3-on-1 situation.
3 on, yeah, so Tampa Bay Damage, again, they have to win this point in order to have a chance to come back here, because one more puts Impact 1 point away from victory and a 4-point spread with only 3 minutes and, well, it's 3:38 now. Who knows what's going to be left when this point's over. So Damage not looking like they're going to take this victory, and that would put them 2-1-1. It would put Impact 3-1. That means Impact will move on to Sunday, and then we got to wait to see what happens with San Antonio X Factor. Can they go 2-2, or is Vicious? That might actually put Damage in 2 regardless. I don't know. Let's see. Vicious is no, because then that'll put. If Damage loses this game and Vicious wins their next game, that puts them both at 2-1-1. And on the head-up game, Damage, I think, actually took down Vicious. No, it was tied.
That was the tie, so then it's going to go down to... then it's going to go down the points.
Oh, my God.
You know, the point
So this win here, losing 5-2, you don't need that. You need some points.
Good point.
It's going to go down to that plus-minus, and then if that matches up, then it goes down to flags for, and then after that, it's flags against, correct?
Yep.
And then it goes down to alphabetical order.
Then it goes down to hide or seekers.
Well, and we got Justin Rabakoff in the prone position right now.
He figured, hey, you know what? I need to get. I'm all wet and cold.
Yeah.
Let me just lay in the grass.
I need a little more mud on my jersey. 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go here. 5-2 is the score. It's not looking like Tampa Bay Damage is going to be able to win this game here, as it's just Timmy Props out there.
Oh, and Timmy Props just take.
No,
Justin's just retreating.
Justin's
He
now doing
retreated.
the seek. He's hiding.
Yes.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Why would he not? And plus, Dave Baines has got all the paint, so.
He might have to steal some pods, and Timmy is out of paint once again.
This is like worst case scenario for Timmy Probst. Down 3, you're the last guy left alive, you're on paint.
Zach Yakimak making a move to the 50. Now he just needs to tell them, hey, he's on me, he's on me. Now Justin knows that. He's coming down.
Oh, it's a little bit too far. Now Zach.
Now Zach has the ball. Now Zach can move, and Dave.
And there's Timmy Probst, the last player left alive for Tampa Bay Damage. Again, this game is brought to you by Empire Paintball, Key Action Sports. So Yakmek at the 50-yard line trying to get a shot on this man on your screen. Timmy Probst, longtime member, original member of Tampa Bay Damage, old school Team Strange player, which was basically you know, one of the best teams of their day and the best team in Florida during that time. And that's where Timmy got his start. So this is an old school vet, Timmy Probst. But as pretty much an impossible task at hand here, even to score this point. There's no way. This game is over. And Impact is going to try to finish this out, though, to go to 3-1, earn a spot in the semifinals. How big is that for Impact? Reform their team, go win in Europe, and we always say, you go to Europe and get a win, and then you come back in with all the heavy hitters, get that confidence, and there's Yakmek finishing it out. So as the last 30 seconds will tick off, here comes Justin Rabakoff to go and gingerly grab that flag and then slowly jog it in.
With the silent J.
Slowly jog it in to hang it up, and
it's going to be 6-2 with 15 seconds left. Not enough time. It's going to give the wind damage, put them in that #1 seed.
Impact.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It's a long day, man. It's okay.
It is.
So.
Great day of paintball so far.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, this field's so slow, it's boring. I'm like, honestly, I've been entertained because we've had a lot of close games, crazy methodical matches, and just watching high-level paintball here.
So many overtime points.
Yeah, we've seen tons of overtime points, which means we could get some one-on-ones tomorrow, because on Sunday, there are no ties. You can't tie on Sunday. We need to determine who's actually going to win. So, and then it goes to one-on-ones, which is about as exciting as it gets. So, yeah,
I think that on this field there's a high possibility of that based on what happened.
I would, if I was a bet man, and I am, I would definitely say that we are going to see one of those out there. So they're going to burn the rest of that clock off, and the final score is going to be 6-2 in favor of Edmonton Impact, who looks really strong, reforming their team in the offseason. They picked up 4 new guys, and finally starting to make it work here. So, and the next game coming at you is Omaha Vicious and X Factor, and that's going to be a crazy one, because if Vicious can defeat X Factor, it will knock X Factor out, and X Factor will probably be playing in a relegation match. So we're watching some of these replays here and from highlights of the game. But X Factor, if they lose it, they're probably going to be playing in a relegation game, because that would send them to 1-3. If Vicious wins, it sends them to 2-1-1, which ties them up with Damage, who is now going to be 2-1-1. So let's check in before we sign off and head to this next game with Lauren Kelly. She's in the pits.
Hey guys, I am here with Dave Baines of Impact. Congratulations, you guys just won that against Damage. You've gone 3-1. You've played really strong this weekend. What did you guys work on since the last event when you didn't have the showing you wanted to come out here so strong?
You know, I think we went back to basics, honestly. You know, we have a great foundation, and we have some new guys. And honestly, I felt like we did the new guys an injustice and didn't honestly show them the way that they should have played with us. And I think Impact has a strong core, and I think that the new guys are fitting in perfectly now. So I'm really confident now with the team.
A lot of teams have been struggling with this field layout, but you guys have been really locking it down pretty well. Did you feel like this was a layout that played to your strengths?
You know, for a big guy that plays in my position, I thought it played for my strengths. But I think our team in general, you know, this is, you know, we can play most layouts. So I mean, for me personally, yes, I do think so.
Honestly, were you predicting such a big point gap, or were you thinking it was going to be more of a battle with Damage there?
No, you know, and honestly, if it was a close game or a different field, the gap wouldn't be so big. But at some point, Damage had to just come to us. And honestly, we just hid, and there's nothing they can do about it. So, I mean, on a different field, it probably would have been a closer game, but on a field like this, once you go up 1 or 2 points, it's hard to come back.
All right, well, our next match is going to be X Factor versus Vicious. Really important for both of those teams. Who do you think is going to take that one?
Nah, they're both playing well. I mean, X Factor just came off a win with us, so they're a little bit confident. But Vicious just won a close game. So, honestly, it's a coin toss, but I think it's going to be a 3-2, 3-4 game.
All right,
I don't know who's going to win.
We'll see if he's right. We'll be right back, guys.
My mom, my dad, and my family, and my baby, and my wife. Thank you.
All right, stay tuned.